How many years has it been with the Neo Saban era? Like 8? It's been one disappointing season after another, with a few exceptions. We've had bad seasons before, we've had bad seasons in a row, but not for this long. There's a lot riding on what gets done with Beast Morphers. We have a new company that owns the franchise now. At the same time, production is still run by the same group that's done Ninja Steel. I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope for the best, for the sake of the series, because I was going to stop watching when Ninja Steel ended. I don't want it to fail. I want it to become what it was, at the same time be modern. Is that really hard to ask for?
Do not recycle story elements.
One thing that shows laziness in the writing staff is to reuse ideas done before. Now, that can't always be avoided on Power Rangers. There's been 900 episodes in 25 years. Sometimes plots get redone. However, you can't just do a plot that was just done in the last show. Tyler was searching for his dad. Brody does the exact same thing. I'm tired of Rangers looking for X person, especially it being always the dad. Give the Red Ranger some other goal. It doesn't have to be looking for someone. It could just be finding himself. Be a better person by improving on his flaws. We don't need the father plot for the next 10 years.
Other Power Rangers seasons happened.
This is such a simple thing to do. Every season of Power Rangers usually takes place in the same universe. You don't have to reference some convoluted thing from MMPR. I don't want anything like that. The writers just need to stay away from one simple line. What's a Power Ranger? Why has that become a thing? You immediately invalidate older seasons for no benefit. Then, someone in the future has to fix this. Either it gets ignored, or you have to use a train to cross dimensions. RPM earned that issue, other seasons didn't. Play a pilot out normally. Give some basic acknowledgement. Jungle Fury did the best reference. Theo got happy when he found out he was going to be a Ranger. That's all you needed to know. Another season of PR happened before them. Kids are not going to get confused.
Improve on Go Busters.
Now, I didn't like Go Busters. The story was all over the place. It had some good bits, but the writers didn't know what to do with it. The main story ends in 20-odd episodes, and they go switch to nonsense in the second half. When it comes to PR, I never base how a season is gonna play out from the Sentai footage. I always want all the Sentai material to be used, even when it's a really goofy season like Tokuger. RPM proved that they can drastically change material right. That's all I want from Beast Morphers. Use key elements, drop anything that doesn't work, come up with an original story, and pay it off at the end. Don't screw it up like Megaforce did. I don't know how they made that season worse than Go Sager. I also don't want them to rip off the Shattered Grid story from the comic. It's going on there, that's its baby. Don't shift it over to the show because they won't be able to explain that story right at all.
Have yearly team-ups.
This is sorely missed. Doing anniversary episodes is great, but bringing back past year seasons was always better. They expand on the older characters, we can see what they've been doing, fight new forms of villains. I think the Ninja Storm Dino Thunder team-up was perfect. I liked it more than the Legendary Battle. If Dino Charge had a regular team-up with Ninja Steel, they could have fixed the bad ending from it. With anniversaries, you can't do things like that. There's so many characters from multiple seasons, it's not possible. I hope this returns.
Make the moral good.
Power Rangers is very familiar in doing morals for kids. Most of the time, they were done fine. But with the recent season, Ninja Steel, it's no longer subtle. The way the morals are done is treating everyone like they're 5-year-olds. Last time I checked, the show's rating is Y7, not Y. Mick directly states things and acts like a preschool teacher towards the Rangers. Sometimes the morals don't even make sense, like when Levi didn't want to play the board game, Mick complained about that. So he can't do anything alone? Have morals, teach lessons, that's all good, but you have to mix it in with the story. Power Rangers is not Blue's Clues. Why has the show been dumbed down so much when I can list many cartoons that don't do that? Avatar, Korra, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Voltron, the list can keep going. The show doesn't need to regress anymore.
Have good comedy.
I can't believe this became a problem in Power Rangers. Every season has comedy. The show wouldn't be PR if it was always serious, but that doesn't mean you don't have limits. I don't understand what was up with Victor and Monty in Ninja Steel. It's obvious they were playing on the classic Bulk and Skull comedy duo. That's fine, but they acted like cartoon characters. They're put in ridiculous situations that would kill people. While Bulk and Skull did do stupid things, including turning into monkeys, they didn't get inflated in a spiderweb balloon or get shot out of a cannon into an arrow target. Things like that cross the line into cartoon physics. I'm never going to be afraid of Victor and Monty doing dumb stuff, and if they can survive falls and other things, then even the Rangers have no issue surviving falling out a window 5 stories up unmorphed. That type of comedy has to end. Have Bulk and Skull-like characters, have people get stuff thrown on them, but make sure it stays within realistic limits, and it works for the episode. I don't want the Bulk and Spike problem in Samurai either. And lay off on the fart jokes. Only Adventure Time has been able to pull off fart jokes in every episode.
Stop using its Morphin time and the MMPR theme.
This needs to end. Why does the series rely so much on nostalgia? Kids don't care about MMPR in that manner. They didn't grow up with it. The theme and the phrase aren't key staples of the franchise. They're staples to MMPR, but not past Zeo. The closest to that is the word more phenomenal. PR doesn't have its engage or Chevron run is encoded. After Zeo, the seasons created new identities for themselves. There is no need to use its Morphin time anymore. You abused it so much, I don't want to hear it again in an anniversary either. You know what's stupid? Imagine there's a future season that does the Super Mega Force idea again. Remember when they switched teams, they said their morph phrases? Picture Samurai through Ninja Steel. They're just going to keep saying it over and over again. It's sad too, because Go Busters was a season that totally used MMPR references everywhere. I don't want to hear it, period. The show spoiled that well.
No universe-breaking plots.
I'm not saying don't do big things in your season. That's how we got Countdown to Destruction and the Control Tower falling on Vengeance and RPM. But you can't do something so drastic that forces the season into its sub-universe. Splitting up seasons into alternate universes is not a good idea. It causes problems as the show gets older. Yeah, a writer works on the show for 1 or 2 years, they come with something amazing or something ridiculous. Now someone down the line has to fix that. Killing a ranger or having them lose their powers should be the extent of a finale. We don't need any more endings like Dino Supercharge. There was no benefit for that joke. It didn't improve a story for a character. It didn't have a worthwhile ending that closes out the season on a high note. It just created a problem for no reason. I don't want to see Beast Morphers destroy the Morphin grid as the last-ditch effort and it being forever lost. The season would have to end up being orphaned from everything else.
Act as real people.
Being a kid show is not an excuse to make dumb characters. Treat everyone with respect. When you create a character, say like Levi Weston, his backstory was pretty cool. He's a famous singer. That gives you a whole bunch of possibilities. But you can't go and ignore the problems that come up with a high-profile person like that. Ninja Steel completely glossed over that element everywhere. He enrolled into high school and no one cared? That's not how people would act. If you're going to not want to use those ideas and issues, don't create a character like that. Don't use the excuse of kids are dumb, everyone's happy, everyone loves to be friends. That was one of the issues MMPR had. They eventually went away from that. Beast Morphers needs to stay more grounded and realistic, have some conflict every now and again. Dino Thunder is a perfect example of this. The show doesn't need Redbot episodes.
Have a connection to RPM.
Beast Morphers' story can easily fit into the RPM story. There's no reason not to do it. You can tell an original story, then just reveal near the end that this was caused by Vengeance. Longtime fans will understand the reference, and new people will be like, oh, that guy must have done some bad stuff before. Maybe I should check out RPM. It doesn't even need to be a focal point. You know how Tommy had the connection to Smitty in Dino Thunder? It could be at that level. We got the basic gist of his hatred and why he does what he does. That's all we need to care about for the rivalry to work. No need to tell the backstory of RPM. Everything I want has already been done before in past PR seasons. This is not new ground. There are already tons of examples out there. Look at new kids shows. A lot of them do it right. PR just has to look at these shows, look at its past, and move forward. It's pretty simple. Hasbro has made many good television series, and I hope they care as much as they did with Transformers Prime. If PR gets to that quality range, the show's perfect. If this does happen with the current writers, then the blame for the show's downward spiral was from the higher-ups, not Judd Lin and the writing staff. It frustrates me so much to see Judd Lin make shows like this when he's worked on so many good episodes in the past. What are your hopes for Beast Morphers? What would you want to see from Season 26? And if you have ideas on future topics, leave a comment down below. I've bashed the Neil Saban seasons a lot, so next week I'll talk about 10 of the best episodes from those 7 seasons.